Hello, room 16. Today we're going to read Digby Takes Charge, one of the big books from our classroom. When you look at the cover today, can you tell me what you think the genre is? What kind of story is Digby Takes Charge? Is it fiction? Is it nonfiction? Do you think it's realistic? Or could it be animal fantasy? Remember, animal fantasy is when animals talk and act like humans. As you read, think about that question. Is this animal fantasy? In the story, Digby is a sheepdog and he has to take care of a herd of animals. Digby has a problem. Remember our question of the week? When does a problem need a clever solution? You can be thinking about that as we read the story. All right, let's start. You're going to have to be patient with Mrs. Coppola while I turn the pages. And remember, it is a big book, so I'll have to zoom in to help you see some of the details. On the farm lived 2 cows, 4 pigs, 6 silly sheep, and a grumpy farmer. There was also a sheepdog named Digby. Did you hear that word, grumpy? Grumpy means to be in a bad mood and complain a lot. Let's see if we can find the character that's grumpy. We'll know by his expression, the look on his face. Yep, he's grumpy. Can you make a grumpy face like that? And then I'm gonna zoom out and you can look at the picture again before I turn the page. You can find Digby. Remember, Digby's a sheepdog and he will have to herd some animals. A herd is a group of animals that move around together. Digby had been brought to the farm because he was so very good at herding sheep. Okay, Digby, said the farmer, let's see just how good you really are. I want all those sheep in the pen now. Easy peasy, thought Digby, only 6 sheep. So he set to work. I have to prop the book up a little bit better. But these sheep had different ideas. They didn't like being told what to do or where to go. Look at the grumpy expressions on the sheep. I also like the way the illustrator has added the details to the grass. See those polka dots she's used? And then look at how she drew the sky. It looks like nighttime, but I think it's supposed to be day. I think the setting for this story is daytime. I'm going to turn the page. Thanks for being patient while I get it set up. Ooh, this made Digby angry. Remember, the sheep were not cooperating. He made a ferocious face and he growled at them. Ferocious means to be very mean. Look at his ferocious face. Can you make a face like that? But the sheep shrugged and wandered off to eat some tasty grass. I remember the day in class we practiced shrugging. Remember, to shrug your shoulders means to move them up and down as a way to say, okay, or I don't care. So the sheep are not bothered by Digby's ferocious face. Oh, look at Digby. Digby is furious. Furious means to be very mad. And he was confused. How could he possibly be a great sheepdog if the sheep completely ignored him? So Digby came up with a plan. So Digby has a problem and he needs a clever solution. Into the pen now, he yelled over the noise of an engine, but the sheep just smiled. Oh, wow, look at that page. Digby had another idea. Into the pen now, he shouted over the roar of the tank, but the sheep weren't scared. Now, do you think bringing a tank to a farm is a clever solution? I don't think so. I'm glad the sheep aren't scared. I think I'd be scared if a tank showed up on a farm. So he took to the skies in a huge helicopter. Into the bin now, Digby cried at the top of his voice. But the sheep simply looked up and laughed. I'm going to give you a close-up of the tractor. Excuse me, not the tractor, the helicopter. There's his megaphone. Can you picture Mrs. Copel using her megaphone on the blacktop during recess time? Digby felt exhausted. He didn't know what to do next. How can I be a great sheepdog if I can't even round up 6 silly sheep? He hung his head in misery. Exhausted means to be really tired after you've worked hard. And misery means to feel very sad. Can you see his miserable face? The 2 cows and the 4 pigs saw how unhappy Digby was. Come on, Digby, they said encouragingly. We've lived on this farm for a long time, they told him, and we've learned there's a way to get what we want. They gathered around Digby and they whispered their secret. Why, thank you, said Digby. Now I think I understand. There's the farm animals gathering around Digby. I think they're helping him come up with his clever solution. And I know some of you right now are giggling at the picture of the pigs. He took a deep breath and he wandered over to the sheep. Would you go into your pen now, please? One by one, the sheep went quietly into the pen, and Digby never had any trouble with the sheep again. But the ducks were another matter. See how at the end of that sentence there's 3 or 4 dots instead of 1? It means the story can continue, and you can continue the story in your mind. What problem do you think Digby's now going to have with the ducks? I'm sure you can tell by now that this story was animal fantasy. The animals were talking and behaving like humans. I think that's probably one of our favorite genres in first grade. Okay, class, thanks for tuning in to watch our big book and listen to me read the story. I'll get better at it. I'm new to this YouTube stardom. I miss you guys, and I'll bring another book to you soon.